Welcome back to the JMP Podcast. Today we're going to be talking about kind of what's been going on in our world with YouTube. First off is what's been happening on my channel. And if you watch the channel frequently, you may have noticed the increase in shorts content. I took about a 2-month break from making short form videos consistently because I was pretty busy with other work, and it takes a lot of time to make a short every day, but we're back into it, which is awesome. And same deal with the podcast, is we're bringing this back in an audio form because it takes a lot of time to do video. And hopefully, if we can make this entire recording without making a single cut, uncut, that would be awesome. So that's kind of what's been going on with the JMP channel. But I want to talk to you, Andy, about what you figured out this week in regards to your channel.
Yes, well, some of you may remember, if you've seen last week's episode, that I talked about locking myself out of my own Raspberry Pi computer. And I figured out a solution to that.
Yeah, you did. And thankfully, he didn't reformat everything like he was just about to do.
I was almost there. I was probably 1 day away from it.
Yeah. So you did figure it out. What did you do to figure that out?
Yes, well, I looked up more. I researched it a little bit more because I thought, well, I'll give it one more shot. And a lot of the answers for, keyboard shortcuts and stuff like that, for like Command Tab or whatever, to try and get out of that, none of that would work. And none of the shortcuts would work, which usually does work. And so a lot of the answers I was finding were for that. Mm-hmm. And there was this one shortcut where it's like a safe mode terminal. It'll kind of override the system. And it's Control-Alt-Function-1. And it brings up terminal.
Yeah, that's weird. Yeah, and that's a kind of a weird command to have to figure out how to fix that.
Yeah, or even just to press on the keyboard. It's kind of hard to press.
Yeah, but you did it, and you were able to exit out of that software that was bricking your Pi.
Yes, I used terminal, edited my file, and fixed it.
Yeah, so it's awesome that you got all that fixed. And I think from here, you're going to probably make a YouTube video explaining exactly how to do that as well.
I am. Hopefully a longer form video, and it'll show, not just my dilemma and, what I've been working on, but also anyone looking for how to, fix this kind of issue themselves.
Right. So that'll be great. And you should also make some short form on that.
I am.
That's good. So I think is that about it for updates on the channels for this week?
Pretty much. I mean, occasionally I've been working on 3D modeling some stuff, but not much else.
Yeah. So more content is coming as always. I still got to record this week's video. Hopefully it comes out. If it doesn't, this will be the only thing that comes out on Saturday. Between, YouTube channel and all the shorts that I've been working on and my other production work, I've been pretty busy. I'm just always making content at this point. So hopefully that all works out. And then that gets all to be made. I think that's about it for all the channel stuff. Do we want to briefly talk about the Apple event that happened this week?
I think we can. I think you should. Yeah, go ahead with that.
All right. So Apple had their iPad event this week, yesterday as a time of recording. And they brought, I think there was a total of 4 new iPads, 2 new keyboards, and a new Apple Pencil. The new iPad Air has a new M2 chip, which is, better than the M1. There's a new Apple Pencil, which is called Apple Pencil Pro for some reason. It has haptic feedback and a force press. The new iPad Airs, they are basically the same, except with the new processor. And there is a brand new larger size, which is awesome. I think that's really needed for like restaurants and things like that they don't really need an iPad Pro, but they want a bigger screen. So that is excellent. And then the new iPad Pros, which are a fully new redesigned iPad with M4, which is a brand new chip that hasn't been announced yet. And now it is. And then a brand new tandem OLED display, which basically takes 2 OLEDs on top of each other. And that's how it achieves inky blacks and pure brights. It's basically the same type of advantages you get with mini LED, but now it's not dimming zones, it's each pixel, which is super cool. Yeah, so new redesign, new chips. It's super thin now. It's actually the thinnest Apple product ever made.
That's impressive.
Yeah, it's thinner than iPod Nano.
That's exactly where I was thinking. It's like, what about the Nano? But yeah, wow.
Yeah, it's thinner. It's under a pound for the 11-inch, which is lighter, and the 13-inch is a little bit thicker, but it's just over 1.25 pounds. So 1.23 pounds, I think, is what it is. So anyway, new iPads, new keyboards to go along with those. Keyboards are basically the same, just they added function rows and a larger trackpad. And then the new Apple Pencil, which is cool.
Yeah.
Oh, and a note about the Apple Pencil. If you're listening to this and thinking, hey, that would be cool to get, it is not backwards compatible because of they changed the position of the selfie cameras on all these iPads. So now the new pencil only works with the new iPads, and the old pencil only works with the old iPads. So you can't change that around, which is a little disappointing.
Not even in the software, like you can't use it?
It's because of how it pairs magnetically? No.
Ah.
So there is one Apple Pencil that works for everything. It's the standard iPad, the standard old new pencil, which charges by USB-C. So anyway, that pencil works everywhere, but it's not magnetic, and it just doesn't do the things that the nice ones do. And I have an Apple Pencil with the old iPad Air, and I really love it. So I think if you're going to get a new iPad, get the new Apple Pencil too. It's not that expensive. It's a great tool.
Yeah, especially if you do anything with like drawing or editing.
Photo editing, it's super nice for.
Yeah, anything with like fine control. Definitely worth it. Even in 3D modeling, there's some stuff that can utilize that.
Now, everyone, it is the thinnest Apple product ever made, but there was one caveat to that. And Apple didn't say this, I just thought of it. Apple sells the Apple polishing cloth. They're extremely expensive microfiber cloth.
Ah, yes, that would be thinner.
That would be thinner.
But I don't think it's a tech product. It's an accessory.
It's an accessory. Same with Apple Card. Apple Card is a product, but it's more of a service, not a product.
Kind of how like a lightning cable would be considered not a main product, but an accessory.
Right. And this is barely thicker than a USB-C cable. It's so thin. Like there's barely enough space for the USB-C cable. And the Apple Pencil is significantly thicker than the entire iPad. So that's kind of interesting.
Which is why they want you to use the case. Because the case, the keyboard case that they provide...
they don't provide it. It's $300.
Yes, but provide in terms of, they made it at all. But that thing kind of matches perfectly with the width.
Yep. It doesn't. It's still thinner, but it adds more structural strength to it. And I'm really interested to see how thin it is will hold up to being used, because iPads are thrown around a lot and they're used pretty heavily, especially the bigger one. Like, how is it going to bend? Is it going to crack?
Kind of like if you put it in a backpack that's all fabric and bends. Right. Like if you set a book on it in your backpack, is it going to
warp? Is it going to warp? Is it going to break? So far, iPads are pretty good. The old Pros, the first generation of the big Pros, those warped a little bit, I believe. Like the first generation of the new redesign. But anyway, that's what happened this week for the channels and with Apple. I can't wait for WWDC in a month for the new OS updates. And I'll run those beta softwares pretty much as soon as they come out because it's fun. Anyway, I think that's going to be about it for this video, for this podcast, I should say. Let us know if you have any other questions. We should do a Q&A at some point. I think that'd be fun with both of us. So let us know if you have any other questions. That would be awesome. If you want to subscribe to this on YouTube or follow on not social media. You can follow on social media too. But if you want to follow this podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, you can do that as well. All the normal stuff, follow, like, subscribe, whatever. That would be greatly appreciated. Oh, and leave a review. Let's get some more reviews on this thing. We've got like 5 reviews or something. It's pretty small right now. But anyway, if you want to leave a review on Apple Podcasts, that would be awesome as well. All right, I think that's going to be it, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.